already. Let me also welcome this morning to the studio. I have two great men, Mr. Donatus Ohiagu, who is from the Old Olu Progressive Association in Amsterdam. Say hello to our listeners, please.
Hello, people. It's nice to be with you once again.
Yes.
I hope you're having a wonderful week. And I believe we are going to have a good time on this program once again.
Great. And Mr. Ohiago was with us last week to talk about the Old Olu Progressive Association. So clearly the Nigerians are coming up, and I love that. You know, they're getting more and more visible as far as the media is concerned, and we thank God for that. Also in the studio this morning is a very special man, Mr. James Gidikanwa. He's a businessman. He's been on this program a couple of times. Please say hello to our listeners.
Yeah, once again, good morning, listeners, and welcome to Radio Voice of Naija.
Thank you. So, along the line, we may have another one joining us. If it does, fine, we'll just flow. But it is great to be together again to talk about how we can advance. Well, don't worry. You stay and wait for it. We'll be coming back to you. Okay. Nice. Let me just say by way of introduction that very often people who are abroad like us and outside are usually excluded from the politics of our home countries. That sense of exclusion from the national heartbeat issues plays out among this category of people in many ways. That notwithstanding, we try to find ways of being relevant and doing something useful, and that is why in this forum we want to share our hearts and talk about how we can be a part of national development, and those of us in diaspora. So let me start by quoting this piece of this article, which was published in the Journal of Public Administration and Policy Research by two people. One is called Tolu Lawal from the Department of General Studies, Giwa Polytechnic Owu in Ondo State, and then the other co-author is Abe Oluwatoyin of the Department of Political Science, University of Ado Ekiti in Ekiti State in Nigeria. Now, just to let you know that I quoted it from somewhere, he says, in spite of series of development strategies put in place by successive governments, and sometimes with good intentions, all attempts to generate meaningful development prove futile. So based on this, one is now confronted with these puzzles. Were those previous development plans or strategies bad in their context or wrongly projected? If nothing was wrong with the plans, why then is it still difficult to generate meaningful development in spite of the huge resources at our disposal? This is a statement by two academics which was published in the Journal of Public Administration in Nigeria. And so my question to you gentlemen out here is this: what is your take on this quote?
Okay.
Who's going to break the ice? Okay, go ahead.
Thank you very much. And our brother on the other side, I hope he is with us here live. Okay, because...
can you hear him?
Mr. Tolu, I hope you can hear us very clearly.
Sahid.
Mr. Sahid.
Go ahead, yes, go ahead. I'm trying to get it.
Yeah, thank you very much, brother, for this the quote itself, because this particular segment is one of the side I have been long waiting to be part of. You know, in developmental issues, mostly in Nigeria, the key problem is not that there are no developments. But I'm going to tell you, presently, I can tell you, in all my life, I've not seen a government that put up a development like the government of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan.
You mean he's doing...
He is really doing great in terms of development. But one particular side that always brings us back to the starting point is maintenance culture.
We don't have poor maintenance culture.
Completely lack maintenance culture. That is one. Two, abandoning projects. As soon as this present government finish their tenure and step down, the next government coming in will completely abandon everything about this administration and start another project on their own, as if nothing was done.
Chop money.
This is just two of many thousands of reasons why it looks like we are not progressing, we are not developing.
Okay. Now, I wanted to keep it brief for now so that we just kind of introduce, before we get deeper into the topic, let me give the floor to Sahid. Can you hear us? Go ahead, speak.
We can't hear him.
Very important issue, and it's a very issue of great concern to the nation and even to the international community. One of the issues I will talk about is that I will talk about an issue concerning the water sector. And
no, Sahid, I wanted to keep it very brief because we're just introducing the topic so everybody can have their turn. Then we'll go further. Is that okay? Good.
Yeah, very much okay. Here we have issue of governance. And of course, issue of governance is an issue that actually talks about what is the coordination of development in the country. And how is this development planned? Are they what is sustainable or what it is not sustainable? That's some of the issues concerning to development. Yes, development comes under every administration, but does this development actually fit into the system? And who are those manning this development? For instance, in the water sector, according to the new minister, Mrs. Achekbe, when she was making one of the interview at Channels Television, she says something. She says that we are lacking funding in order to actually bring about more development in the water sector, and we're also lacking shortage of staffs. But what are the measures that have been put in place to bridge shortage of staffs over the years? That is the question. What are the plans over the years? You cannot just tell us, okay, this is the problem Nigeria is having. If you do tell us that this is the problem Nigeria is having, definitely we know something could be done.
So you're saying that is improper planning or looking forward, to put it in place.
Sustainability in projects.
Okay.
These are the two major issues, and governance.
Governance.
Is also one of the key issues.
All right.
So those are the two basic issues.
Thank you very much. Now to Mr. Donatus, give us your take on this quote.
Oh, well, in response to the quote, I think it's very important to note that each of the successive governments that we have had in Nigeria have come up with some intervention programs that some of the ones that was quoted by the writer. But what I think we miss it is the implementation. Implementation has always been the problem, and in the area of policy also, governments come and the policy changes, and then that of the previous government is completely abandoned, and then we seem to be running round the circle in terms of these implementations, and then the problem continues.
I think also it's quite unfortunate that the government hardly seeks the input of those in diaspora. I mean, directly, in its governance activities. They're interested in the money we send them home, but they're not really interested in our ideas or our participation.
No, brother, sorry. I will plead to disagree with you there. Because
anyway, that's my observation. We can debate about that. Okay,
no,
go ahead.
I always like to take it instantly.
Okay. Go ahead.
Why I refuse to agree with you there is that many of us who have the potentials, who have something to offer to the government, we are shying away from it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you the truth. many of us who have something to contribute. At least I know how many times personalities have come from Nigeria, personalities have come to this radio station. How many of us are listening? How many of us are contributing?
But did they have they been soliciting explicitly the support or the input or the ideas of those of us here? That's my point. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, one of the things I would like to mention is that not that people are not actually listening, not that people are not actually wanting to do something, but there is this problem of enabling environment. There is this divergence in political thinking in the country. So these politicians come along with interests, which of course doesn't provide a very good or conducive environment for the thinking of people in diaspora. I think that is the issue.
They come with their own agenda.
Should move down to outside the country to seek knowledge, more input, understanding. They should be able to provide enabling environment, conducive atmosphere, allow the people to operate, develop plans that are sustainable. I think policy that actually will enable people to actually settle down, bring about more investment in the country, because one investment leads to multiple investment and therefore generate a whole lot of employment. And that will push the country forward.
I think there's an issue in this very point. Mr. Donis, you want to react to this?
Yeah, sure. I think it doesn't just boil down to just the government. On our part, most of us, some of us in the diaspora also seem to have shut out ourselves, you know. Because I go around and I speak to a whole lot of our people, and you find that they don't seem to be interested in what's going on. My friends, even sometimes when they see me reading Nigerian news, they're like, what are you doing with all that? They're always stealing. And how do you know if you are not interested? That's one very important aspect of it. Agreed, the government has got to do a lot. The gentleman spoke about enabling environment. That is excellent.
Yes.
You know, but we as a people, we also have to show that yes, we have interest. You know,
I can mention specifically. Last year there was a Nigerian investment seminar or something like that.
Yes.
Business summit or whatever.
Yes.
And we were there as well. We met a few of the governors who came, and you'll be amazed. After they left here, it was not possible to reach them no more. They give you their cars all right, and you share with them what you wanted, the thoughts you had. But after they left, you couldn't be reached no more.
Yes.
My wife was down to Abuja, also same last year.
Yes. For the Nigerians.
Met all kinds of people.
Diasporans week.
But after the meeting, lines closed.
Yeah, exactly.
So clearly, they are not very, very interested, genuinely interested in soliciting ideas or participation or partnership with those who are overseas.
It's true.
Yes, react, Mr. Gilikewa.
Yeah, I'm going to react because I want you to understand one thing, that
It's true.
Rome was not built in a day.
Yes.
Even if those ones that came did not proceed in maybe keeping in touch, you should not still relent. See, keep on pressing hard, because one day you will get to somebody who have a good listening ear.
So you have to be fighting your way to get them to listen to you.
Yes.
No, but I think I would like to come in here. When we talk about national development, those of us who are in the diaspora and we are here, there are certain things that, by virtue of the fact that we are here, we've come to learn. And those things are going to really help our own country. Actually, what we don't even consider being best here is what the third world countries are still struggling to bring as their number one. So we've been exposed, and then we've been educated. Then we have a lot to use to impact our own community. But the problem is that those who are down there are not ready to make room. Let me tell you, they are not ready, because I was in this diaspora week, and then I heard professors speaking out their mind. I mean, in the medical field, those who even were the first to manufacture this fertility treatment, Nigerians who are doctors, specialists in America were speaking out their heartbeat, that even when they are down, when they are back to our country and they want to use their destiny to enhance what is going on, those who are there don't want to give way. Even by virtue of the fact that you've sent your CV, somebody is already having an attitude. Because they said, oh, you are there, and then you want to come over here to come and rule us. So when you abandoned Nigeria and you left, so you didn't know that people would take over your position. So the fact is that they are not ready to give way to those in the diaspora to step in. Secondly, our mentality is totally different. You know, this issue of, let me just be blunt, this issue of giving a contract and then you magnify it and you lift it and give 10% or 20%, those in the diaspora may not want to be open to be receiving that money, because we are in a country, we are in a place where bribery is not so visible. Corruption is not very, very visible. It's not so open. But from where we are coming, we know that when they give you a contract, so somebody will tell you to sign up this amount of money, but actually the person would increase the amount 10 times more than what they have given to you. So if you want to be honest and follow them in the way we have lived here, they will kick you off. So they will just tell you that you are just a JJC. So they are not into that distance. So everybody is still seeing Nigeria as a national cake, where they will just mount and cut up their own, eat as much as they want, and get down. So they are not allowing us.
I buy this.
Yeah, go ahead, Said.
I bought the idea that our auntie has actually shed light on concerning the situation in the country. If we want to go deeper into this discussion, I would like to bring out two practical examples. In fact, they are current examples.
Yes.
I highlight before now that the Minister for Water Resources claimed that Nigeria is currently suffering from insufficient staff in order to leverage the development in the water sector.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I have two participants that just joined UNESCO IHA that just enrolled for their master courses, and now they are now here. They've been admitted and passed through the series of processes and even given scholarship. One of them is working in Cross River Basin Water Authority.
Yes.
And he stays here now. This was a discussion of yesterday. One of his fellow colleagues in the office told him that the so-called organization is planning to sack him, whereas he had already given all the documents and filed his case that he's going for his master's program to the authority. And the authority did absolutely nothing. They did absolutely nothing about it. Now they are planning to fire him. Instead of supporting the young man, to acquire more knowledge.
Exactly.
Instead of supporting him.
Exactly. That's the thing we are talking about. Yes, yeah. Exactly.
Another case is that we have another guy who is from the Research Institute.
No, but let me come here. I like that example you're giving, but that is, let's say, an isolated case. We're looking at more general, broad issues. That's a special case, of course. I mean, they're supposed to help the young man. Yeah. Okay, so let's keep it at that level. Let's look at the more global issues.
No, what he's saying is very right, because even as at last year in that Netherlands Nigeria Business Forum, I met the minister of I met the minister of water. Direct, and she gave me her card. She gave me her card and I said, we have some suggestions. We have something we can do to improve the water system in Nigeria. Oh, please, put your projects down. And then this is, she took me personally to go and meet her special advisor or her special assistant, her PA. And then her PA gave me his card, and the woman also, I have her own card. So afterwards, when we began to call, at least to make acquaintance, and then let me even get her on the air so that she can speak and then tell us some of the problems which we are going to having in Nigeria as per water. Yeah. Did you succeed? Till today, have we succeeded? So this is just to let you see how they hinder national development.
Okay, so clearly I think they are politicizing the whole thing. When they come here to show their faces, it's just a show.
It's a show.
It's a show, and after that they recall into their shelves.
Yeah. So yeah, I would like to give a contribution at this point. by next week, I should be flying. I'm supposed to have been, by this week, I should be flying down to Uganda. Uganda did one remarkable thing which we can actually learn from. They developed a national policy, a national strategy for water sector capacity development. Because capacity development is one of the issues the country is actually lacking from, or they do not have sufficient ground on. And since Uganda tries as much as possible to culminate all stakeholders to push forward capacity development in terms of having staff with sufficient manpower to drive the sector. They have a policy right now, which of course my research is going to be based on, to learn how they came about with the policy formulation and how they are implementing the policy. And that is going to influence the global community on how to move forward in terms of formulating policy that is going to support national development.
Exactly.
In terms of water sectors, in terms of any other sectors, which of course they will learn from. So one of my own kind of contribution thereafter after undertaking this project would be if the minister would agree to try as much as possible, from my experience by the time I finished to study research, to come down to the country and try as much as possible do similar things so that all stakeholders will have a concrete policy to direct the attention of capacity development issue and other development issues towards a particular plan that will be of a focus in a particular term, maybe say 2030, that all stakeholders will agree that, oh, this is our input and not what government enforced on them. So that is my own kind of plan in the future, and I hope, because there isn't any policy to actually enable people to come home and do a whole lot of things. And to react to what one of the panelists said, he said that when some Nigerians saw him reading newspapers, they felt less concerned. I think it's not their fault. If government try to give incentive for people in diaspora to come back home and do better things, I think a whole lot of people will be much more concerned about their country, because whatever you do here is for the Netherlands, it's not for your country. You can only empower yourself personally, but socially you are empowering those around you in the Netherlands. The way you live, what you do, you're contributing to your own sustainable development.
It's true.
By the time you get down to your country, whatever you do, your participation in the several programs, the way you actually address people, contribute to the social community. So whatever we are doing here now, we're contributing, only we're empowering ourselves, we're getting more knowledge, personally, in a personal context. But social context, you're contributing to your own development. So it's better for us to go back home. Nobody, just like in Yoruba, they will say, Ajole Dabile, that is nowhere like home. So we want to contribute down to whatever is happening in Nigeria.
Exactly.
The government can actually try as much as possible, provide good policy that enables, that guarantee us enabling environment and incentive to allow people to think about their homes.
I totally agree with you. That's why I like the expression you're using, the enabling environment. It's so good. You know, I don't know, but something can be done to move things much further. In fact, I know of a lot of professional specialists overseas, my wife included, even my brother-in-law, I mean, highly qualified people. And like you said, some people, they just don't entertain the idea of, you tell them about home or about Nigeria, they just lose interest because they feel like they don't have a place. They don't have the space to do what they would love to do, to advance, you know, the cause of the country or their own interest for that matter. And so, because that enabling environment is absent, people are just not motivated. Although they are highly skilled people, you know, very good, you know, professionals all over the place. So then, the issue, let me ask the question, where there is an issue, why are we resistant to development?
Yes.
Why are we resistant to advancement? James, you can maybe answer.
The simple answer to it is just corruption.
No, you see, we easily settle for that, but that's not good enough. I want more. I want some more serious analysis of the state, and hopefully we can get somewhere. Yes, go ahead. You want to say more? Just corruption. Are you done?
Yeah.
You're done. Okay.
Yeah, I would like to suggest something.
Hold on. Mr. Donatus wants to.
Yeah, I just wanted to put in a few words dealing with corruption because it came up. And I want to say that on the part of our government, as part of creating the enabling environment for people like you and I to invest in our home countries, there has to be a conscious effort on the part of the government to fight this monster called corruption. It's a worldwide phenomenon, but ours seems to be growing out of hand, really. Because it's clearly, when you look at what's going on, it seems like an official policy. There is this tolerance of corruption.
Exactly.
So we need to see examples set. Talking about leadership by example, people needs to be punished. So that you and I or some other guys who are planning.
I don't know. I really don't want you. I don't want you to play that tune because we have played it enough. All right? Corruption. We have sung that enough.
Yeah, exactly.
We can say more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we leave it there, we can go further.
Yes, good.
Yeah, you're right. But we can't overemphasize.
I think the lady wants to say something.
Yes, my name is Jimena Blindeling, and I'm still here.
Yeah.
I believe, and what has been actually scientifically proven is that change, transformation brings, in the first instance, resistance. So what you're going through in your country, we confront the same thing in our country.
Yeah.
You see, wherever
Which
you
is
go,
Curacao?
Curacao, yes. And our roots are in Africa.
Yes, definitely.
So whenever and wherever you are and we want to implement change, bring transformation, we will encounter resistance. So one of the things that when we want to bring the transformation, it's very important to study your own country. Many times we know many things from our countries, but if you go back into history, because there were men and women, I believe, that brought change, that were able to bring change.
Yeah.
What did they do? You see, because there needs to be a change of mentality. So there are certain things that are very important and that need to be combined with a desire to bring change and transformation. Because in our own country, the same. If I'm here and I go back, I want to do something for my country, they will also think the same. What do you come to tell us?
So
you believe you're better than us?
What you're saying is that resistance to change is one of the main problems we're facing.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if that, do you agree, James, as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if that is one of the main problems that is confronting us, how do we ever solve that problem? Because if you talk about corruption and everything, they all fall under that. People are benefiting from one area, so they want to keep it that way. I mean, we understand that. Everybody's fighting for their security. Okay, but how do we correct resistance to change? Any ideas? Sahid, are you following us?
Yeah, I'm actually following you.
Okay, good. So any ideas to correct that?
I actually contribute to the other aspect. Yes, corruption, people have often said that most of the time, but I love to better put it as conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest. Well, it's the same thing actually.
Yeah, it's the same thing, but I love to put it as conflict of interest because one thing is, we all have diverse, Nigeria is a big country, so we have diverse interests. But one thing about it is that developmental goal is always developmental goal. Final. You develop goals to guide you. Every other interest comes at the back of that goal. So if we can have a unified interest where all stakeholders will put it together, some is going to lose out of it, some are going to gain, but the population of those that are going to gain should be more than those that are going to lose.
Okay. Do you all think that we need a change of leadership to really, move things in a direction? Because as long as some of the old guys are there with the old mentality of how things must remain, maybe we're heading nowhere.
Yes.
What do you think? I know sometimes people call for lawless kind of revolution, but it's just a sense, a demonstration of the fact that people feel that there must be a kind of change which will radicalize everything, you know, as opposed to just managing and moving along slowly. I don't know what you think, but if we want to make the kind of change that will bring into a mindset and break down the resistance to change, then something has to happen somehow.
I think we have to make room then for accountability. You see, we have to put it. It becomes part of our principle and part of our what do you call it? It must register fully in our constitution that we have a periodic accountability, and every quarterly the people in position must be made to account to us everything that we require from them, including their financial background. Because if it becomes very transparent and very open, then they will know that if they begin to siphon money into their private accounts, and if they begin to give contracts without people performing. I mean, in our country, people give contracts and the contractors don't do the contract. They just tell you to sign for this system, and at the end of the day, there is no contract being done. So if they become societal accountability, you account for the community, account for the local government, account for this thing, I think people will not have the fear to begin to steal, and they will have the fear to be exposed. They will not want to be exposed in their distance, so they will not be mindful of what they are doing.
I agree. That's a part of it.
Yeah,
that's a part of it. Yes.
Secondly, more women have to come in position, because men are like the architects of this corruption.
I disagree with you there, man.
They have been the people ruling us all the time. So I think there have to be equal participation of men and women in our governmental sector.
The time of saying women taking part have gone, because there are many women there. The one that gave you complimentary card and refused to pick your phone is also a woman. so let's not forget that side. You know, but the truth remains. Our leaders actually need to change their mindset. They really need to change their way of reasoning. You cannot live forever. You can never live forever. At least all of them from A to Z, they all come to Europe for holidays.
Yeah.
They all come here.
They see everything.
They see nice. They ride on nice road.
And yes,
they drink good water.
Yes.
They stay in the hotels with 24 hours electricity, not even generator. They do all these kind of things. They have the money to do same in our own God-given country.
Yeah.
They still have the same money to do it there.
Yeah.
What is stopping them?
Corruption.
You know,
If not, I call it sheer wickedness.
Sheer wickedness.
Sheer wickedness.
You know, it might be sometimes, but I believe it's also that people want to stay in their comfort zone. You see? So if I feel good this way, if it works for me, why should I change? You see? So the thing is that I don't know the other sir that's on the phone on the program. It's very important, you know, conflict of interest, what he mentioned. You see, there's a circle of Prochaska and Di Clemente, and it shows how the process of change goes. Before people reach a point that they take a decision, I want to change, there is a process that goes before that. So change will always be a matter of unified forces. You know, a teamwork. So, like the older people, for example, that are in the politics, you know, if you have a new generation coming up that might be more open for change, then it's good to bring those two together.
Madam, please, let me come in.
Yes,
here.
come in, please.
You see, when we talk of change, we are putting it as individual change. We don't need you to change if you are a governor. Be whomever you are.
Exactly.
But
you
when they
us.
bring out something for the state,
Yes.
use it for the state.
Exactly.
Obama today is still Obama. He is. He still play his basketball.
Exactly.
He still went out to play with his friend. He is the president of America.
Yeah.
Once he is in the White House, there is a laid-down procedure.
Exactly.
Anything they believe, they say this money is for electricity. Use it for electricity.
And be
Make do with
accountable.
whatever that you are paid for. Make account of whatever that was entrusted.
Exactly.
In you. If you like beating your wife at home,
That's
is
your business.
personal life.
Exactly.
That is you.
Can I just
You understand me? So when we talk about transformation here, when we talk about transformation here, there is something that our brother on the other side made mention of: implementation.
I tell you.
Implementation. That is very, very important. Now, our government, those in power, they will now bring out a very good master plan.
Yes.
A plan that when you table it, oh God, it's very wonderful.
Yes.
It's very sweet. They will even think for the next 100 years.
Yes.
They will make the budget, the money will be made available. Then when it comes to implementation, everything.
That's a lack of discipline.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, just to mention, I think we have all spoken very well. Leadership problem is one thing.
That's it.
And another thing we need to look at is the strengthening of institutions.
Okay.
These institutions have to be empowered to be able to deal with these issues we are speaking about.
Yeah.
Because the way it is presently, the individuals who are in power, they are stronger than the institutions. And that is where the problem lies.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? But if you have an institution outlives the government. So a person comes in, they leave, the institution is there.
Yes.
You know, so whoever is coming new comes and knows, hey, this is how things are done.
It's
They
true.
play by the rules. Because corruption is human. It knows no sex, because I heard you speak about the women, how they should be given the chance. Oh well, what I can say about that is that
Some of them are
even though we know the men are corrupt, the women are not tested yet.
It's true.
Okay.
Yes, they are not. They have not been.
It's true. It's true.
They are.
Listen. They
Okay.
have
They are corrupt.
All right.
So you cannot say.
Hello. At this
It's not about
juncture,
gender.
I'm going to introduce a short break so that let's take a breather, then we'll
This is
come
not
back.
about gender.
Yeah, that's it.
It is
We
true.
agree we are corrupt.
No.
Because you know there's a saying, the devil you know
Yeah, in
is better than.
the political segment, we're talking about
The fact it even is that the women are even more corrupt.
Women are corrupt.
No, they are even more corrupt than the men. Because they are what they are. Look at that woman. Look at how they have silenced that woman. We thought she would have made a difference. I mean, the woman, the press oppressor, because she came with the diaspora system.
Yeah, she came with the diaspora system from
She saw that.
She never joined them.
Oh, come on.
She has not joined them.
They have silenced her.
But wait, do we all agree that the women have not been tested?
Oh, the fact is that women even are more corrupt than the men.
Okay, I'm glad you say that.
No.
Okay, now what is the last?
Listening to Radio Voice of Naija, we are having a very heated argument here in the studio. Feel free to call us if you want to contribute to this discussion. The studio line is 0207371619.
Discussing on national issues.
You said something about
Let's go on because we want to.
the politician.
Just a short
It's about implementing what she did, but he's still a person. You see, it's how the person is. If it's a person with integrity, he will do what he's called to do. You see, so it still comes down to the person. You know?
No, we have not reached there.
The person is the
there's not, none of these African countries, madam, none of these African countries don't even talk about integrity. Because, and also, don't bring God into it. No, and also don't bring God into it. I'm a minister, but now we are talking about secular issue, so not everybody out there believes in God.
Yeah.
So as much as we will know that God can solve the problem, but we have to be very neutral. This is not an issue of come and pray, because if prayer would have solved.
All right, the argument is still very hot. Let's go back on there. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, Said.
Yeah, welcome, sir.
Okay, I know this problem, we cannot solve it today. We cannot find out the answers today. But at least let our voice be heard.
But we can do something, because for me, this national problem is a very big issue. Like, I went to United States and then I was reading in the newspaper. I went to United States and I was thinking that I went to United States and I was reading the newspaper whereby even a man of God, renowned man of God, was found. They saw in his jet 90-something billion naira in a jet being carried to South Africa to go and buy firearms. So how can we justify that now? 95 billion naira, 97 billion naira found in the jet of a man of God in South Africa for firearms. And now people are linking it to Boko Haram and the rest of them. Is that not the corruption we are talking about? So how can we rectify the problem that is going on in Nigeria?
We need a new generation of leaders.
I'm telling you, and that means not their children are not coming. These ones who are, because if I will be given the opportunity to rule Nigeria for 1 minute, their children will not be allowed to come, because their children, when they will still be babies, they will be stooges to their fathers who will be dictating the pace. So I think I'm calling back for the type of Idiago government whereby during the Idiago system there was accountability. Is that not?
Yeah. I find it very strange. Look, why China is a hotbed of development and investment and everything right now is because if you look at it, Chinese send a lot of their young people overseas to America and you know they learn, and today most of them are rushing down there because the economy is booming. They created the enabling environment as we heard earlier.
Exactly.
And we are sitting there in Nigeria with all the oil and many resources and there's abject poverty in some serious places.
I'm telling you.
And the whole thing is a mess. And we are not ashamed of it. We are not ashamed of it. That we don't want to do nothing about it.
Yes, we are.
No.
Yes, we are.
I met the Minister of Information.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then I said to the
Sahid wants to make a quick point.
Oh.
So go ahead.
Permit me to comment. So
Yeah.
I think I would like to go with the word next generation of leaders. I would like to put forth one of the statements of my rector, Professor Andras Martinez-Guaich. He said that we are building the next generation of water leaders to take over the world. And I think that exactly should be the tone Nigeria should be singing. We are building the next generation of leaders to take over from these leaders.
Okay. All right. You leave it right there. That is the key thing you have said. Now, everybody, I'll give you just 1 minute to just give your closing remarks because our time is almost up. So, starting from Mr. Donatus, 1 minute.
Yes. Speaking about building the next generation, I think there is need for a total reorientation of the people, of the population. And since we're talking of next generation we're speaking about may not necessarily be you and I, because we are too corrupt. My opinion would be to start in the schools. We need to start in the schools, to reorientate the people. And most importantly, lead by example, because it's what they see, they practice.
Yes. Thank you. Mr. James, what do you want to say?
Well,
only.
just because I know we are still going to come back on this topic next time. My own input there is just to advise every well-meaning, peace-loving Nigerian: do not relent, do not be tired. No matter how much they press you, no matter how much they resist you, keep on pressing forward, because I believe one day we will surely get to where we want to be.
Wow.
It's just by a sheer pressing hard. That is just it.
I'm with you on that one.
Okay, Miss
Jimena.
Jimena, yeah.
I sustain the plan of sir, I don't know your name.
Donatus?
The school. The
yeah.
schools.
Yeah, start
starting
from
from the schools, you know, preparing the next generation. You see, to think instead of thinking short term, you know, and go for the short term gratification, that they can look farther.
Yeah.
You see, and work towards that, and help that new generation that's coming up to be a generation with values and principles. You know, that if they come in a position of leadership, they will stand. You know, they will stand for what they believe in. You see, because they will have a vision.
Thank you. Apostle Helen, you want to 1 minute? Just
yes. I don't know. I strongly believe that we can start from the school, but the fact is that this one we are calling young generation. Are we talking about these ones who have already seen the world, or the ones unborn? Because if it has to do with if it has to do with these ones who are already born, they are already spoiled. Because some of them you want to go and teach already have their names in Swiss bank, because they've already opened account. So you cannot come and tell them about patriotism. They don't know that word. They don't know about it. So if we're going to talk about another generation,
That's true.
so I'm not a prophet of doom, but at least, but I can you're supporting what I'm saying. I'm not a prophet of doom, but you know, this issue is so rooted that it will be too difficult to deal with, except God comes in.
Thank you. All right, so take this message.
God is in it too.
Yes, your social events, weddings, birthday parties, baby ceremonies, graduation, anniversaries, engagements. All your events can be promoted right here on Voice of Naija. Yes, you heard me right. Don't know about you because you're not promoting your business job. We can bring you the awareness that you need for all those revivals, seminars, special events, conferences, church services, your Sunday services, your social events, weddings, birthday parties, baby ceremonies, graduation, anniversaries, engagements. Call us today right now at 06-846-06-550.
It's my brother, he's choosing his word.
That's
So my brother from another mother.
Voice of Naija, your place to advertise.
Okay. Well, on this note, I would like to end today's discussion. I want to thank you, gentlemen. Mr. Donatus, here go for coming. And Mr. James Guinea-Kamwa, thank you for coming.
Thank you, sir.
Ms. Jimena, thank you for coming. Sahid, all the way from there, thank you for being a part of the show. And hopefully we'll continue, because we just started. Have a blessed day, blessed week. We'll see you next time. And our listeners, thank you for being a part of the show. And we look forward to coming your way again next week. Until then, stay blessed.